Hi, my name is Ben, and I'm the founder of the Volunteers of Vegas. Volunteers of Vegas exists solely for the volunteers. The organizations that we support are secondary to the people that are putting forth their time and energy to support those organizations and activities. We just had a leadership meeting yesterday, and if you don't know, our leadership team is comprised of 11 individuals who have offered their time, skills, and talents to Volunteers of Vegas. We have everything from senior resource leaders to community outreach leaders. We have people working on our social media. We have a committee there, our operations manager, brand ambassadors, our documentarian, and so much more. All of these wonderful people choose to show up on a monthly basis to meet with all of us in leadership to share how they've been doing with achieving their goals. Their goals, by the way, are set by the leaders themselves. I never tell anyone what they have to do. I ask what you're passionate about and what goals you think are attainable. Once you set them, we check on those goals every month during our meeting, and if you were not able to achieve those goals, I ask why and how I can help. In addition to all of the work, if you will, we have a ton of fun. We meet in a beautiful location and we have really yummy food. Yesterday was a chili cook-off where we had a kosher vegetarian chili, and then we also had a bit more of a traditional chili. For those that don't like chili, we had someone bring potatoes to put the toppings on that instead of chili. I was the one who brought toppings. Admittedly, I had no idea what I was supposed to bring, so they were the most random chili toppings ever. I had pickled onions, basil, shredded carrots, jalapenos, sour cream, that's a normal one. It was just kind of all over the place, but I will say the volunteers were very appreciative of all the toppings and all the desserts. There's a woman who said it was the best dessert she's ever had in her life, and it was gluten-free. Something that I think is really cool is those best desserts ever were something that my own mom has tried to make in the past without success. Because it's condensed milk and coconut and sugar, and essentially it's this really yummy soft inside, and on the outside it's a candy shell. It's really easy to burn the sugar, and so turns out the individual who made those desserts has offered to go spend time with my mother and help her how to make or teach her how to make those desserts, which it warms my heart to see that happen, because the biggest mission of Volunteers of Vegas is to create community through volunteerism, and that's exactly what this is. I have something to share with you, and it's huge. But I want to preface by saying Volunteers of Vegas is an anomaly. We are an outlier in this space. I have never seen anything like our organization, and I might be a little bit biased, but I'm being honest as well. We're one of a kind. And because of that, I have had people in different states reach out saying, Ben, does this exist where I live? Ben, how can I do this where I am? And I can give you the recipe, but it's kind of hard to do. I'm not going to lie. There's nothing that I can do that you cannot do. It just takes a lot of dedication and time. And not everybody wants to do that. But I just so happen to really enjoy giving dedication and giving time. I'm passionate about that. It just so happens that we were presented an opportunity to take our mission and expand it to the rest of America. We're partnering with Vegas for Athletes, and we're going to be helping with their 2026 Summer Games right here in Las Vegas. And starting next year in 2027, we're going to be going national. I believe there's no such thing as coincidence. So when I was approached by Vegas for Athletes, and the following day I met someone at the dog park who said, oh my gosh, I am a facilitator for Empower Me, which gives you skills to accomplish any goal you're setting out to do. They learn who you are, where you're at, what you're trying to do, and they put facilitators in the room with you, and they walk you through every step of the way to get where you need to go. They create the roadmap for you, and in this case, they're doing it pro bono. I've invited all of our volunteers, our leadership volunteers, to go to the Sunset Casino on January 16th to be part of a 4-hour workshop where we are going to be gaining the skills, insights, and tools to be able to truly launch VOV to the next level. I am beyond words and so appreciative that we continue to receive such support from our community. I cannot express to you how much it means to me. This is a dream come true. When I started Volunteers of Vegas on May 3rd, 2025, I had no idea that this is where we would end up, and in such short time. At this point, I'm letting the world work, I'm letting fate happen, and I'm making the best decisions that I can to be the best version of myself so I can be there for the community. But I really have no idea what tomorrow will look like. I say that because in addition to being full-time Volunteers of Vegas, I also have a full-time job that sends me all across the nation. For instance, today, I'm going to be going from Las Vegas to Chicago. Then I'm taking a car from Chicago to Kohler, Wisconsin, where I will then be a speaker for 1 hour talking to the Global Business Travel Association. My topic of choice for my presentation is the person behind the title. I really believe that behind all of the titles, there's a human that is caring and loving. And if you didn't know, my opinion of what the meaning of life is to love. So when I get a group of people who are influential and I get to share with them my philosophy on life and the meaning of it, I do not take that lightly. So I have been up very late and very early putting together all of my notes and my speaking presentation and my PowerPoint and my polls and the whole 9 yards. I even created custom thank you cards that are related to business travel, which is my industry, to give out to everybody to say thank you to someone who has impacted them in their career. For me, mentorship goes so far. I love having a good leader, and I fail at that sometimes because I'm a human. I try to be the best leader I can be, but you point a perfect parent out to me. You point a perfect leader out to me. You point any perfection out to me, and it doesn't exist. All we can do is try our best, and when we mess up, we apologize, we acknowledge, we try to rectify, and we move on. As we go through this adventure of life, and as we become leaders in whatever field we're in, it's important to stay humble, and it's important to stay open-minded to others, other perspectives, opinions, personalities, and really other human beings. Not all of us go through the same things. So regardless of if you're leading an organization, or if you're leading a presentation, or if you're just trying to lead your own life, give yourself a break. Try to be the best version of yourself that you can be and move forward knowing that that's all you have to do. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to be a better version of myself every day. Sometimes I'm more successful at that than others, but I'm really happy that I had an experience 2 days ago that lifted something from me, and I'm gonna share that experience with you. I was robbed at gunpoint, and for some context, it happened a few years ago when I was living in Miami. I was walking my dog on a Saturday afternoon in front of a school, an elementary school. Someone in a mask jumped out of their car, bolted to me, held a bang bang to my face, and demanded my cell phone. That was the first time I had ever been in a situation like that, and it was absolutely terrifying. I gave the individual my phone, and as they proceeded to their car, I grabbed my dog and we ran to hide behind this bush. This is in Miami, so there was some, like a marsh, if you will. So there's kind of like a lagoony river thing. Then there was some bushes. And then there, across from the lagoon, there was an apartment complex. My dog and I were hiding behind a bush, and I thought this individual was gonna drive away, but they turned around and they stopped back where I was. They rolled down their window, they pointed it at me again, and they demanded the code to my phone. I don't know what came over me, but I yelled, "No!" And I grabbed my dog and I jumped in the water and started swimming across to try to go to those apartments I saw on the other side. Now, mind you, this is Florida, so I was playing the worst game of Would You Rather ever, because I had to choose alligator or bang bang. I knew there was a bang bang, and I didn't know if there was an alligator, though they say if it's a body of water in Florida, there's a gator. Needless to say, I survived to tell the tale. Unfortunately, the next victim of this individual likely did not. I ended up filing a police report, and the deputy let me know a few days later they were able to identify the license plate from there was a mechanic across the way from when the guy tried to get the code to my phone. There was a license plate, so they identified it was the same car, but the deputy let me know that this individual robbed 3 people that day. A female earlier in the day in South Beach, myself, and then someone after who unfortunately was. I've told this story multiple times and I thought it got easier, but it's something I struggle with, and it's something that's scary, and something that I'm very upset about is that person took some innocence away from me that I'm having a hard time getting back. I love everybody. I do. I love everybody. And when this person took me for that awful ride, I lost a bit of trust in humanity. I grew up in a bubble, so I didn't even think that that could ever happen. So when it did, I suddenly developed very serious trust issues. There are several reasons that I have trust issues, but in this case, it's different. And my brain gets scared when I see people that look like that individual when I'm in a similar situation. I'm not advising you do what I'm about to share with you, but I'm going to share what happened so you can understand why I feel like I've turned a page. 2 days ago, I was walking my dog, and I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day, and I'm outside by 4:15 walking my doggy, because these days, the only time I get for myself is the time that I budget before the actual day starts. It's pitch black outside, and every morning, what I do at the dog park is I clean up all the doo-doo. Please be a responsible dog owner and pick up after your own damn dog, by the way. I cannot stand it when people don't pick up after their dog. It's my number one pet peeve. It's probably, well, you'll see me not be nice a few times because I'm a human just like you. But there's one time I just have no patience for people, and it's when you don't pick up after your dog. Thank you for listening to my rant. After I got done picking up all of this dog shit, I was walking back to my door when my dog suddenly became alerted to something. It was peculiar because my dog never really is alerted to items, particularly in this area. So I walked over and I saw there was a human being sitting in a dark corner, and they looked very similar to the person who had robbed me at gunpoint a few years ago. I immediately felt flush. I immediately started sweating, and I immediately thought the worst, particularly because I know the individual who lives nearby has some interesting characters who come around. I chose to practice love. I chose to practice being kind, and it was cold. It was 4:30 in the morning, pitch black and freezing. And rather than being alarmed, or rather than being mean or fearful, I offered this individual a cup of coffee. They graciously accepted, and no, I did not invite them to my house, but I went in, I got my Stanley cup, and I walked it out to him, and I said, "You can keep the cup." They said, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yes." They then asked me if I wanted to, and I said, "No, no thank you, but thank you for the offer." That might not have been a big deal to that person, and I don't know what came over me, but I am so ready to move on from that. I'm ready to forgive, and I'm ready to evolve, and this was my way of doing it. I'm not saying I'm cured. I'm not saying I'm healed. I am saying I took a step forward in that journey. Again, I'm not recommending that you do that. It was potentially very dangerous. I so desperately wanted to move on from my past trauma that I felt convicted. I needed to do something to show myself I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of you. I'm doing this, and I did it. And I feel so light and good about it. Do you have anything like that you're working through? Have you had a moment that you can relate where it's like you don't want to do it, but you need to do it for your own healing, to turn the page of that traumatic chapter of your life? I understand. By the way, we have a record-breaking amount of events on our website right now. And honestly, a record-breaking amount of volunteers going to our website. We have so many events that are full we're at capacity. A lot of times we have a certain number of spots that we have because of space or whatever it is. And we have several events that are completely filled to capacity. That being said, there's a ton of events that are not at capacity. So if you want to go to our professional development happening at the Sunset Casino on January 16th, if you want to go help us with the Maths Project, if you want to work out with the charity series of World Poker, if you want to go help with Poker Gives, handing out food, if you want to help read students literature, whether it's poems or fictional writing, up to 5 pages, no more, and leave notes, constructive notes to help these youth get better at these skills and become published authors. Every single student who's participating becomes a published author after this. If that calls to you, if you're looking for an opportunity, go to volunteersofvegas.com because again, we're here for you. Whatever it is you're looking for, you can likely find it at volunteersofvegas.com. If it just so happens you don't see what you're looking for at volunteersofvegas.com, fear not, because we would love to put something up there specifically for you. And when we do, you'll see it'll attract other people who are also passionate about the same thing that you're passionate about. Community through volunteerism. It's the name of the game over here at VOV. So if you go to volunteersofvegas.com, if you click request, you can request anything. Go to volunteersofvegas.com. We are so much more than volunteering. We are a community. We are a healthy, thriving, growing community, and people like you are what makes us so special. People like you are why we continue to stay motivated and inspired every single day to do the best that we can to be different, unique, sincere, and genuine. The hardest part is signing up for your first one, and we have different resources and things coming to make it even easier than ever before. I'm going to leave this here because I have to head out to Chicago, but please do keep in touch with us and let us know how we can support you. We look forward to seeing you at volunteersofvegas.com or at your next volunteer event.